Some mysteries are right in our face, like hundreds of identical linoleum tiles embedded in the asphalt of cities all over North and South America. All with the same cryptic message. Like some proto-internet meme. Who put them there and why? Some mysteries are hidden, overlooked, or just lost. A groundbreaking artist's best work, languishing in an abandoned cabin in the woods. Unseen, untouched, then unearthed. Some mysteries are right in our face. Some are hidden. Welcome to Nothing is Revealed. Here on the show, I try to shine a light on internet-heavy mysteries. Maybe provide a different perspective on a known case. Maybe discover a new one. But for this video, I want to talk about the mysteries that influenced me. Who knows? Maybe you'll be struck by the same glorious inspiration. Gather around and let me spin you a yarn. Resurrect Dead, The Mystery of the Toynbee Tiles is one of my favorite documentaries of all time. It elicits that tingle in the spine, that amazing sense of stumbling upon a real-life puzzle. The lead investigator here is Justin Duerr. Keep Justin in mind. He's going to glue our two mysteries together by the end of this video. The Toynbee Tiles are a simple enough concept. They're in cities all over the US and even South America. Boston, Philly, Portland, Cincinnati, St. Louis, and many more. These are near identical tiles made of linoleum and actually embedded in the concrete of streets. A lot more involved than a sticker on a signpost. They all boast the same cryptic message, though copycats have arisen with different messages or styles. But a classic Toynbee reads,
Toynbee idea in movie 2001, Resurrect Dead on planet Jupiter. So what are all these?
Justin and the other filmmakers are from Philly, where they observed these tiles all over the city while walking. They decided to investigate, and in their journey, they would brush with the very best of conspiracy and urban mystery. The central mystery: who's making the tiles and why? It's never explicitly stated, but Duerr and crew have a suspect in mind. In fact, their evidence is pretty compelling. You see, the tiler broadcast similar messages to the one on the tiles via shortwave radio. Oh yes, the air was quite literally thick with this mystery. And most bizarrely of all, how could the tiler put these down without being spotted, even by the dark of night?
The tiler doesn't have a floorboard in his car. It takes a second, you're like, no floorboard.
Immediately it makes you think, well, that's how he's putting the Toynbee tiles down, as he's driving in his car, dropping the Toynbee tiles through this floorboardless part of the car.
Remember, these are embedded in the asphalt, not just slapped there. Well, Duerr and crew believe the tiler achieved this by, I kid you not, putting the tiles down through a hole in the floor of his car. How ingenious! If you can't do it behind secretive walls and doors, well, why not just put the walls and doors on wheels and bring them with you? And once the deed is done, well, just speed away. That's not even to get into what the tiles mean, a mishmash of science fiction and reality. A reference to Stanley Kubrick's film 2001: A Space Odyssey. Beyond that, an idea, engineering a future for humanity. I went looking for the closest tiles to me in Cincinnati, Ohio. Unfortunately, all the original Toynbees have been paved over or removed, according to the blog Queen City Discovery. 2 were in the path of new streetcar tracks. A few copycats, however, are still there. Now, if you've already seen this documentary or know of this mystery, thanks for sticking with me. If you haven't, go watch it. It's one of the best oddball investigations I've ever seen. That's the mystery that's right in our face. Tiles in every major US city, on public streets. What could be more obvious than that? But I want to highlight another work of Justin Duerr's. One that's less well known. Our hidden mystery. A forgotten story of a pop art pioneer. A true trailblazer who died in obscurity and whose lost works remained buried in a collapsed house in the woods. Until Justin Duerr found them. The story goes like this. Herbert Crowley was a British artist, and among other talents and vocations, he drew comic strips. Before the concept of a comic strip was old enough to drink. This was at the dawn of a classic American medium. And that doesn't do Crowley's work justice. The level of detail and intensity of imagination in his cartooning has scarcely been seen since. His work is like Fantasia meets the Chronicles of Narnia, or maybe Dark Souls. It's an otherworldly feast for the mind. In 1913, he exhibited his art at the Armory Show, an event that established the foundation of modern art in America. Here he was among artists like Cezanne, Van Gogh, Munch, and Pablo Picasso. Outside of that, his path crossed with other legendary figures like poet Robert Frost. Hell, he was a member of psychology pioneer Carl Jung's inner circle. And what did the future hold for the well-connected rising star Herbert Crowley? Nothing. He just disappears. From history, anyway. Crowley actually traveled in the latter half of his life before dying unexpectedly in 1937, 24 years after the Armory Show. But in those 24 years, Herbert Crowley wasn't written into history books. His old works were cataloged and forgotten. His new works, well, they never even saw the light of day. Enter Justin Duerr. Over 100 years later, Duerr crawled into the literal ruins of Crowley's old home in Rockland County, New York. There, he found scraps and sketches. He even pulled a hand-colored print out of a raccoon's nest. The goal for Duerr and partners was to kickstart a massive art book celebrating Herbert Crowley. They researched for years to gather as many never-before-seen works as possible, and to solve our unseen mystery. Who was Herbert Crowley, and why was he forgotten? The story spans the globe, from New York to Switzerland to India and the Middle East. Crowley had a tortured state of mind. Post-World War I, his depression led him to travel the world, always seeking something, a salve for his soul. Something in this wide world that would spark spiritual enlightenment, or maybe just contentment. Some artists find that and we remember their spectrum of work. Some artists don't, and we remember their suffering up until their last breath. Ultimately, more than who he was, it just matters that he was. His works stand alone, and they should be seen and enjoyed by generations to come. You can find a link to purchase the book in the description. What are the mysteries that influenced you? Let me know in the comments below. We've got some original stories in the works, sure to scratch that itch for a good mystery. Keep an eye on the channel, and thank you so much for watching.